Can you hear me? It should be better now. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? I don't know why it was muted. Is it unmuted now? Can you hear me? Anybody? Okay, thank you. So what I was saying is that we've been hitting at a 68% hit rate inside the NHL. It's been very good for us. That's inside the Discord. We also added a channel where it's going to be for live betting. So we're getting a crap load of value inside the Discord for live betting. So we see a lot of stuff as the games are happening, like injuries and stuff, as the things are happening and the books don't adjust on time, we're hitting a lot of value inside the live channel as well. So I do have one parlay I'm going to hook you up in this video, one parlay in the NFL, which I gave away earlier this week already. And then I'm going to give you guys one play that has been hitting very good for us on the NBA, which is the over-unders. And I'm going to explain that play in detail today. So, yeah, I'm going to give you guys a play in the NFL and then one play in the NBA. And then the VIP already had about 13 or 14 points, rebounds, and assists, which I'm going to show you my receipts. They've been hitting very well. And the shots on goal have been hitting very well as well also. So let me get right into it real quick. And then I'm going to explain what happened. So very quickly, let me just get into the details. I shared this yesterday. If you were here or you would have been on my channel on the free picks, you would have got this alert to get the free picks. So you can see right there, Cavaliers, they ended up coming back. They were losing. They ended up coming back. And then the Thunder won that pretty easily. So that hit. Then I took the Cavaliers when they were down. You can see right there, it was a negative value when I took it at a minus 103. I only threw $10 for my live betting, but that hit. That came back and won the game. Then these PRAs, like I mentioned, these have been very, very good for us. You can see Donovan Mitchell, he's got 40 points, rebounds, and assists. He only needed to hit 35. This guy, AJ Green, he was supposed to get 10. We needed him to get 10. He ended up getting 18. And then we took the Thunder again to bring that juice down. As you can see, one of my books, DraftKings, I was down on my funds. So I only did instead of $50, I did 15. And then the Kings, like I mentioned, we're hitting at a 68% hit rate in the NHL. So that came through 1-0. And then this guy, like I mentioned, also the over-unders have been very well for us too. So you can check right there. Look how extreme this is. We had it at the under 238. They ended up only scoring, what is this, 109 plus 96? I don't know what that is. Is that like 112? So we had this has been crazy because the day before that, I had two overs. One of them to go over like 230, and they ended up going like 270. And then the other time they were supposed to go like 224, and they on the over, and then they went like 265 or something like that. So anyways, these have been very good for us. And we took the Raptors also because Indiana Pacers were on a back-to-back, and then Halliburton was injured. So that came through. And then we had the NHL, Edmonton plus 1.5. They ended up winning the game straight up. And then the shots on goal, these have been good for us too. You can see 1.5. This guy got 3. This guy he needed 1.5. He got 3. This guy just needed 1. He got 1. So that was good. And then the last one, I think this is the last one, points, rebounds, and assists. Another points, rebounds, and assists. This guy I was a little bit worried about because they were getting blown out. I thought they were going to sit him the rest of the game. He ended up coming back and won. And then there goes the last one. So you can see it was a very good day yesterday. So if you guys want all of that information, I actually put out a message that if you wanted that for $5, you could have got all of those plays for $5. If you want the one-day pass, send me a text message right here. I'll leave that up for a few seconds. You can send me a text and say, hey, I want the $5 pass. So let me get right into the plays now. The first one I really like, it's going to be the Celtics and the Clippers. Let me kind of read some information here. So give me a second. Let me just make sure I have the correct information before I start. So there's 2 games I was looking at. One of them, it's not as good as I thought it was going to be, so I backed out of it. It was going to be the Warriors on the under, but then I realized that the injury report was wrong. So I kind of backed out of that one. But I will tell you, if Zion Williamson is playing, then if Zion Williamson is not playing, then you might want to look on the under for the Pelicans game. But I'm staying away because it's still not confirmed on his injury. So let's go back here. All right. So now we're looking at the Clippers and the Celtics. You can see right there the projected scores are 108 plus 113. So that equals 221. The line has not shifted in any favor. It stayed the same, even though 72% of the bets is coming in on Boston, 62% of the money is coming in on Boston, and the line is holding very steady against, not moving towards any one team or the other. Now, this one is good because it shifted from the total 224 and it went down to 221. It actually went down to 220 now. So it keeps going down, and it's still going down. You can see, and this is what's even crazier, 91% of the bets is coming in on the over, and then 90% of the money is coming in on the over. So why is this line shifting dramatically down? It went from 224, and then it went all the way down to 221 as of this morning. And then right before I started this live, the line is at 220. So the line is still dropping. So I will tell you the reason that is that both of these teams are top 10 in defense. And I believe Boston is actually top 5 in defense. So their defensive rating, they only allow 110 points or 111 points. And then the Clippers allow like 118 points or something like that. So again, they're top 10 defenses for both teams. Now, the money's already obviously, if you keep up with basketball at all, you know that Tatum has been out, and I think he's been ruled out for the season, a torn ACL or a torn ankle or something like that. I can't remember exactly what his injury was, but he's out for the season. So these lines are already showing all that information. So it's not like they just corrected them recently. But so anyways, let me keep going here. So the line again started at 224, it's 221. It went all the way to 220. I actually bought it back all the way up again to 224 and a half. So that's my play, 224 and a half, Boston Celtics versus Clippers. And I'm not going to go into all the other details, but like I mentioned, points per game, 105, points per game, 118. These are top 10 elite defenses. Last thing I'll say here for this play, let me see. Boston Celtics are 76% in their last 38 games as a favorite. And then this is not good. The Clippers have gone over 10 times. So that's a little bit of a contradiction. That's maybe why the public is pushing the over, but the line and the sharps are on the under. All right. So that's for that game. So now, like I said, this one, I was looking very heavily into this one as well. You can see right there's 118 plus 109 is the projected score. I didn't like it. I mean, I was liking it, and then I saw the injury report, which is right here. And what I was thinking when I was doing this is that Curry was out. But now that I went deeper into this, he's actually not out. He's right there. And there's not even a questionable mark or anything. And then they also have Butler. This guy Kuminga, he's not a big deal. Melton isn't either. The one that is a big deal is this Jordan Poole over here. And then Zion Williamson is questionable. So, again, I'm not going to – there's a lot of other stuff going on. I'm not going to worry about this game. I'm just giving you what I was looking at. But if there was really nothing else going on, I would have stayed tuned to see if this guy was going to play or not. And if he doesn't play, then that line is going to drop even more. So let me go back in here and show you what I was looking at. The line started at 230 and it went down to 227. Like I said, 72% of the bets, 71% of the money is coming in on the over, yet the line is still dropping. So again, the line is holding steady at 227. But if Zion Williamson plays, that line is probably going to go up. So I'm staying away from that. I'm just telling you what I was looking at. So now let's get into the NFL. Like I mentioned, I was already talking about this earlier this week, and I gave this play away earlier this week. So I did have some computer issues, so there's a lot of stuff that's missing. Like for example, this right here, and then these breakdowns. These sharp plays should be different plays, but I had a lot of computer issues. I just wanted to get this up and running, and that's why you see some missing information here. But anyway, let me get into this real quick. I'm not going to get into too much detail into these, but I really like the Ravens today. They're supposed to be 26-17 is the projected score. I'm taking the Ravens on the money line for the first leg. That's going to be for the first leg. Let me give you some information here. 82% chance that Ravens will take this. The team grade is 92%. Offensive grade is 95%. And then defensive grade is 85%. If you compare that to the Browns, they have a projected win rate of 17%. Compare that again to the money line. Whenever Baltimore is favorite, which they're heavily favored today, they hit at a 70% hit rate. I'm not going to look at the over-unders here, but it's saying that it's hit 17 games for Baltimore in the recent games. All right. The next one is the Steelers. This one's, I think everybody's really on this one. This is a very public play. But I really like the Steelers. I gave away, if you want the exact details of why I like this so much, go check out my previous video that I did like 2 days ago. But I go very deep into why Pittsburgh is supposed to win this game. 88% chance that they should win. Team grade, you can see 82 versus 75. Offensive grade is pretty similar, and the defensive grade is much better. Also, Cincinnati, this is a very big one. Let me zoom out right here so you can see that. Actually, zoom in. That's too much. I zoomed in too much. Give me a second. Cincinnati is 11% as an underdog. Okay, so today they're heavily underdog, and today they're 11% hit rate whenever they're underdog. So again, like I said, if you want all the details on why I like the Steelers so much, go check out the video I did yesterday. If you want the free picks, go to the link in the description, click on free picks. Also, make sure you subscribe. So the second play for you guys is the Ravens money line, the Steelers money line. And then the other play I gave you was the under 224 on the Celtics. So let me know what you think. I'll give you exactly what other stuff came up for me, but I'm staying away. Let me just read this stuff. Give me a second. Bills on the over or under. Can you check the sharp edge? Give me a second. I'll do that. Let me just kind of give you what came up for me, and I'm not going to play these. I'm just letting you know. The Clippers did come up at a plus 5.5 against Boston, but again, that's because Tatum wasn't in the. Basically, what happened this morning when I ran my report is the information was wrong on the injuries. It wasn't updated. Once I updated the injuries, then things changed. So, anyways, like I said, I've been having a lot of computer issues, so I finally corrected all that. And the reason I'm staying away from the Clippers on the ATS is they're 2 for 12 in the last 14 games, meaning they don't cover spreads. So, all right. Let me see here. For football, damn, guys, you guys are asking me about football, and I have all my stuff up for basketball. But I'll go through it right here, as best as I can for what the information I have. All right, let's see. Texans and tight ends. Or I'm sorry, let me do the other one first, which is the Bills. Where the hell is this? Give me a second. All right, there's no projections for some reason. The line did shift from a 5.5 to a 6. So the line is shifting very, very, very slightly towards the Bills. 63% of the bets, 49% of the money. So this is kind of a big deal. If there's 63% of the bets coming in on Tampa, why is the line shifting towards Buffalo? But it's such a slight there's such a slight it's not dramatic is what I'm trying to say. It's a half a point. So that's not a big deal. The line did drop from 49 to 45. 58% of the bets, 72% of the money is coming in on the over. The win rate is 75%, 71%, so pretty similar. Buffalo does have a big time advantage as far as the passing. The rushing, they're very similar. You can see they're very similar. Pressure, Tampa Bay does put more pressure. For some reason, this didn't load up, so I don't have any projections for you. That's why the over here, it didn't show you. One thing I will tell you is that the Bills have burned the hell out of me twice this season already. I don't trust them at all. They were heavily favored like 3 weeks ago, like minus. I'm talking about like super heavy favorite, like a minus 500, and they ended up losing straight up. So they've actually burned me twice this season, and then last season they burned me like 3 different times. So they're very inconsistent, especially when they're heavily favored. One thing I will tell you is when they're at home, they do play better. So the over-under does show that it's going down. And then the last thing I'll tell you is the Buffalo Bills are 75% as of whenever they're favored. And right here, it's a contradiction because it's saying that Tampa Bay is going on the over 8 times in recent games compared to the line going down. So there's too many contradictions here, man. I'm not gonna go look into all that right there. Let me look at the other game that you guys asked about. Let me see the Texans and the Titans, and then I'll look at James anytime touchdown. So let me actually see if I can pull up. Give me 1 second here. Let me pull up some information here. I do have some posters that are important. So let me see if I can pull it up. Where the hell is it? Sorry, guys. Like I said, I've been having a lot of computer issues, so I had to move a lot of stuff around. Where the hell is this? No, I'm sorry. I was going to give you the posters that I have, but check out the other videos. I actually went through them, which is the actually I posted it on Reddit. Give me a second. And then I'll look up the Texas right now, and then I'll look up the anytime touchdown that you're asking about. So let's see. This is important, guys. That's why I'm taking the extra time to show you. All right. So check this out. This is my Reddit channel. I post almost every day here. So check this out. The Steelers, this is one of the reasons, like I said, for the Steelers play is that they're going against the horrible Cincinnati, 11% hit rate as underdogs. Then the Jets, you're fading horrible teams here, 16.7% last 12 games as underdogs. So you would be fading the Jets, going with the Patriots. And then the Green Bay Packers going against the Giants. The Giants are 14% in the last 21 games. And then the Titans are 8%. So that goes back to the person that just asked me. Who asked me about this? J.O. So let me look at Texans. So right here, Texans. And so anyways, let me say something very clearly. For fading the horrible dogs, what we'd like to do is look at these horrible ass teams. And then you look at if they're facing strong teams. So in this example, you got the horrible Tennessee Titans, 8.3% in the last 12 games. And they're going against a somewhat decent team in the Texans. So now we also look at the line moves and all this other stuff. It's not just one thing. But it does say that the Texans should win this. You can see Houston did go from a -3 to a -5.5. I would have liked to see if you were going to take the Texans, which I'm not. But if this would have been like a -6.5 or a -7.5, that would have been better because then that would have crossed a key number of 6 and also a key number of 7. But it didn't. It only moved 2.5 points, which is very, very minimal. Houston did get 70% of the bets, 73% of the money. The line did drop dramatically. Damn, I wonder why. I wonder why this line is so much. It's 6 points down. And that's a reverse line move because the money's all over the over. So I'm going to take a look at that. You can take a screenshot if you want. I'm not going to read all this stuff, but it does say that the passing profile, Tennessee does have a little bit of a better pass completion. You can see all the details there. I won't get into all that if you want to take a screenshot. The rushing profile is is better for Texans. They rushed 221 times versus 179. And then the defense is yards allowed. Defense is horrible right here compared to Tennessee. So Tennessee seems to have a little bit of a better defense. Let me see what else. So I'm glad this is showing up here. Texans, 70% of the public betting is coming in on the Texans. Projected score, like I said, is 21 compared to 15. Win probability is 76% for Texans. The team graded is way better compared to these guys. So Texans does look like the stronger side. And like I mentioned, Tennessee is 8.3% as underdogs. So there's a lot of information there. Houston seems to have the advantage, but let me let me see something else. I'm going to look at James anytime touchdown. Let me look for the anytime touchdowns over here. Oh, I actually have some very good information here. So this was from earlier this week. I'm not going to get into all the crazy details that this shows, but this is something that I was working on right before my computer crashed. So I'm going to get back to this, man. This is going to be amazing once I get this working 100%. So, for example, right here is telling me, I know it's kind of hard to see. Let me see if I can zoom in. Anyways, this is going to be amazing once I'm able to get this going 100%. So, for example, this shows you all the games on the entire slate on one sheet. So this is going to be part of the Sharp Edge once this is done. But check this out. Just looking at an overview of the games, and like I said, don't look at this. Don't quote me on these because the lines have moved since this was taken. So check this out. -5.5. It went all the way to -11.5. Look at this top line right here, and right away it's telling you that New England, it went from favorite to heavy favorite. Public steam. It tells you the reasoning. The line ballooned with the public backing. Okay, 65% of the bets, 62% of the money was coming in on New England, and the line moved dramatically. I'm not going to get into all of these, but check this out. We were just talking about this. Houston and Tennessee, -3 is now -7.5. Obviously, like I said, this was taken earlier this week. The line has shifted back to a -5.5, so that's not a good sign for the Texans. And then it's telling you the sharp signal. Money on Tennessee has triggered a big move. So this is a sharp signal, meaning that the sharp line is moving towards the Texans, even though there's heavy money coming in on the other side. I'm not going to get into all these details, but once you're able to read this graph, it's very important because you can just take a snapshot of what the hell is going on for the whole week with one sheet. So pull it up so I can take a screenshot. Pull what up? All right. So let me go into San Francisco. I'll take a look at San Francisco. Let me look at James anytime touchdown. All right. Let's see. Let's see what we got over here. I'm gonna look at anytime touchdowns, and then I'll look at San Francisco. I do have a poster that goes out every week. Actually, it was supposed to be posted today, so I don't know if it did or not. I have not checked, but it's the anytime touchdown streaks. So what that tells you is that we do actually 3 different streaks. We do anytime touchdown streaks, points, rebounds, and assist streaks, and then shots on goal streaks. All of those 3 posters actually get posted on my channel on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe for that. Let me see if actually he posted it. Give me a second. If he did, then I'll be able to show you what that is. Let's take a look. No, he did not update it today. Oh, actually, you know what? Sunday. He doesn't do these on Sundays. So he does it Monday through Friday. He posts the points, rebounds, and assists, and the shots on goal. All right, and then the Anytime touchdown is posted on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and that's it. All right. So, anyways, right here, I can tell you right away. In the last 5 games, let me kind of stretch this out a little bit because it doesn't look good right here. So what I would look at right away is that the last 5 games, he's only gotten 2 touchdowns in the same game, which is not good. 20% hit rate. Then you got red zone attempts. He does have a lot of attempts, so that's decent. Then what else? Let's see. Passing rate versus run rate. So the Bills end up throwing 51% of the time, and they rush 49% of the time. What you want in this case, obviously, would be for them to be passing because he's a receiver. So it's 50-50. And then James Cook is he only gets 7.6% of the targets. I would not go with this. It's just not looking good. And the targets to look at would be the Shakir over here for wide receiver, Coleman, and Kincaid. So all these 3 other guys get almost double. This guy gets almost triple of the targets. So just from this alone, I would not really like this. Or wait a minute, is he a running back? What the hell am I talking about? Yeah, he's a running back. My bad. For some reason, I thought he was a wide receiver. What the hell am I looking at? Anyway, touchdowns against. So right here, another thing you want to look at is the touchdowns against. What this means is that the defense is 18th, which is 50-50. And like I said, he only got 2 touchdowns in the last 5 games. So I would stay away from this. Does not look good for me. He does have a lot of rushing. You can see the rushing yards have been in that same game. He got 216. That's when he got the 2 touchdowns. So I don't like it. I think the Bills don't cover today, but win it. Yeah, like I said, the Bills have burned the hell out of me. They've lost some pretty easy games. They should have won these games, and they didn't. So for them to go against this weaker team, still, I don't trust them. They've been doing this for years. So, all right, let's see what else we got. I think the Bills don't cover today, but they win. Okay, agree. They have to win. All right. So yeah, a lot of the people in here are saying that the Bills should win this game. What's the reasoning behind that? Is that their record or what's going on there? All right. So let's see. The last thing I'll look at here is going to be the San Francisco that somebody asked about. $27 to 23. The lean is towards San Francisco. The line started 1.5. It's currently 3.5. That's decent because it crossed that key number of 3. 70% of the bets, 65% of the money is coming in on San Francisco. Over-unders is not dramatic. There's missing data here. Arizona does have a lot better passing information, somewhat similar on the rushing. Team defense is somewhat similar. And then you got the win probabilities, 67% chance that they win this. Team grade is a little bit better, not much. And then Arizona says they're 12% as underdogs. So Arizona has been shitting the bed. They've been sucking this year. San Francisco is not too much better, but something to look at, especially with this line crossing the 3. I would not take it on the spread. If you did, you would go at the -2.5, not that key number of 3.5, or take the money line. I don't like it. I'm not taking it. It did not come up for me at all. But let me see over here again. Carolina, Cincinnati. One other thing I will say is that Chicago and Minnesota, I was looking on the over, but I stayed away. There was some indications there that it should have gone on the over. Let me see now. San Francisco and Arizona, like I mentioned, the line did move more already. So there's mild, sharp money coming in, pushing San Francisco line up. So this is more of a public play. And what else? That's about it, guys. I went on for 30 minutes. I appreciate you guys. If you haven't done so, make sure you subscribe. Check out the free picks. Link is in the description. If you want to check out the 1 day pass, I still have 6 slots available for $5. You'll get all the plays today. Yeah, Julio's saying the Niners always beat Arizona. I don't have the head-to-head trend right there, but check that out. What else? So I'll tell you exactly who I'm going with. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this, text me if you want the 1 day pass for $5. Check out the free picks inside the link in the description. That's going to have all the NHL stuff. All the props are already in there. I just threw in that NBA play, and then the NFL has already been posted as of earlier this week. So let me go right back into this and tell you exactly what I went with, and then we can go from there. So the first one I went with was the Celtics and the Clippers on the on the under 225.5. You have to look for a book that has the alt lines because the line is all the way down to 220 now. So that's the one I'm taking there. Then I was looking on the Pelicans, but I'm staying away here because what's his name? Zion is not confirmed in or out yet. He's questionable. Once he's confirmed, I don't think, I'm going to be honest, I don't think I'm going to take it because I have too many other stuff going on already. I have too much stuff going on already, which I don't want to have to still worry about making sure that this guy's going to play or not. I might catch this live if I see the line is not, if it's going in my favor, meaning like I see the line is like 230 or 240 or something, then I can buy the under at that point. Like I said, I don't think I'm going to take it, just letting you know. The reason I stayed away from this is the reason it was looking so good is because it was saying that Curry was questionable, but you can see right there he's actually playing. So that's something that made me stay away. But then again, this guy's questionable, Zion Williamson. That's something I was looking at. And then I explained all the Ravens, why they should win. And I went very deep into why the Steelers. Let me see here. Give me a second. Where the hell is this? I went very deep into why the Steelers and the Ravens should win this in a previous video. So check out the video I did 2 to 3 days ago, and that's where the information is for the NFL. All right, guys. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you all that are here. And I haven't done a live in a while, but I'm actually going to start doing more lives. So I hope you guys will be here. I appreciate you all. And like I said, make sure you subscribe. And you're welcome, guys. Thank you so much. Let's have a great day.